Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Specs on.
Get your spectacles on.
Getting blinder by the moment.
Welcome to the ugly truth.
Why?
I don't know.
Ugh, in the name of Ugh.
Episode
I
647.
don't know why I did that.
It's all right. Why did I do what I did?
This is probably the most speaking I've done since I woke up today. I've really not even uttered any other words other than to my dogs. Get down!
Was a little concerned about that because we're recording a bit early. And so I've been just guzzling coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I know.
it's fine.
Jamie and I, as you know.
Honestly, I know I like doing them early, get them out of the way. Like, no offense. I love doing them, but it's like, you know, you and I are both the same. It's like, hey, you want to go to brunch?
I've been meaning to what I thought would be fun is to do brunch, you and I alone.
Yeah.
Because we never do anything by ourselves ever. Like we rarely do anything alone. So I thought it would be fun to do that and then come home, quote unquote, to your home and do the show.
Oh, that'd be fun.
But every time I think about it, I'm like, I'm so tired.
It requires me to be presentable. Go out in public before noon.
I could lip and clip for that if we went somewhere low key, and we kind of like low key places anyway.
You know what I hate? The Peppermill doesn't exist here anymore.
God,
I'm so annoyed.
I think I said that last time I was over here. I'm like, that is the perfect place.
It's perfect.
You can be ugly. It's dark. Well, not ugly.
No, but
our version of ugly.
You can roll in, you can
ponytail and jeans,
sunglasses, and just chill in the corner.
No one cares. Everybody's hungover.
Pretty much. It's the best hangover food ever. And outside of Adalberto's, the Peppermill omelet is the best.
True. And it's a full bar and no one judges you for getting, a shot at 10 a.m.
It's a Vegas-based restaurant. So, I mean, the fact that we had one here in Dog Patch was great. I loved it.
Dog Patch.
Okay, so I have been brutally humbled this week.
Uh-oh.
And I have to share it with you.
And it's not your ugly and awkward moment?
No, I didn't have one this week, and I'll tell you why. Daryl's daughter is here, was here. She brought her 2 small children, Daryl's grandchildren. Now, I know they're technically mine as well, but I don't feel like a grandma.
I know what you mean.
I don't know why. Yeah. I'm trying really hard. Anyway, so Natalie took herself to hang out with her siblings, and Daryl was taking care of the kids. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a quick workout because I have time. It had been a couple of days. So I did a row and I felt great. Next morning, we're getting ready to go to the ocean for the night.
Right. You guys went to Bodega Bay.
So I'm standing there naked and I'm putting on underwear by my bed.
Oh, no.
I put in one leg, I lift my other leg and I put it in. And all of a sudden I feel this incredible searing pain in my ass.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, what was that? And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, that fucking hurt. I was like, geez. And I'm trying to walk it off. Cause when you feel like a pinched nerve or a muscle strain, you're trying to like stretch it, walk it off. Yeah. I'm like, that was weird.
Maybe it's just a cramp,
Yeah, whatever. Like maybe I gave myself a Charlie horse. So I go and then suddenly I'm like, I need to sit down for a minute. So I'm sitting down in front of my dresser looking for something to wear. And Daryl comes in. He's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm looking for clothes. He's like, on the floor? And I said, yeah. And I go, something happened to the top of my butt and it hurts really bad. He's like, oh, you got a sciatica nerve pain. Oh. I'm like, sciatica nerve pain. I'm like, I haven't had a sciatica nerve pain like flare up in like 15 years.
Oh, I've never had one. I don't know what that is.
I
know what they are.
Yeah, it's a pinch. Basically, you've pinched a nerve in the very top of your butt, and mine's on the top left. So anyway, I'm like, well, what do I mean, it's been so long. I don't even remember what I did. I just remember a lot of heating pads and a leave and all that stuff. Well, the problem is we're literally walking out the door to go to things. So I take 2 a leave and Daryl has heated seats. So I'm just getting in the car and I'm like, well, hopefully this will it's just getting worse and worse by the minute.
No.
It's getting worse. And I'm like, when is this going to stop? Like, is this like a
crippled shortly?
Is this like a Charlie horse? Like, when does this go away? I don't remember it being this bad. And he goes, oh, well, it can last for weeks. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I don't have time for this.
People go to the chiropractor for that shit.
I have no time for this. And so then I remember that our hairdresser had a sciatica nerve pain issue. This was a few years ago. It was so bad he ended up using a cane because you cannot walk.
Did you call him?
No, I didn't.
What do I do?
I didn't know. And Daryl said this has happened to him. And he goes, don't you remember when you were giving me that massage on my butt and I was like
trying to get
it out.
Work it out.
And I'm like, I do remember that. He goes, this is what that is. I'm like, okay. So we get to the beach. Now we're halfway there. And all of a sudden, Stephanie, I am not kidding. My stomach goes,
no.
We're on Highway 37. So there's nowhere to stop. We are literally in the middle of nowhere. We're surrounded by the Bay Area, Everglades, and we're near Sonoma, and there's literally nowhere to go. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh boy. And Daryl's like, what? I go, I don't know. All of a sudden my stomach. And I go, I haven't even eaten anything today. I had like nothing last night. I had hardly anything. I mean, you just don't eat around small children. I forgot. Yeah. You just do not eat.
You're like eating chips and handfuls.
You're literally eating
goldfish.
like a nugget.
Yeah.
Or a piece or a blueberry. And that's pretty much it. And so I'm like, God, I haven't had anything to eat. And so I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, okay. So we hit Petaluma.
Damn it.
I can't go to the bathroom.
If anybody knows this drive, this is the worst place for it to happen.
It's like 3-hour drive.
It's far. There's not a lot of stuff. If you are going to stop, you're going to be at a fast food restaurant or a gas station or something.
Or Whole Foods.
It's not like you're going to walk into a restaurant and be like, excuse me, can I go in your bathroom?
Oh my God. And we have 2 tiny ones in tow. So it's not like we can stop anywhere. And so I'm like, all right.
Everything is like gargantuan to do.
Yeah. So we hit Whole Foods, which we traditionally always stop in Petaluma on our way to the beach. We get like picnicky shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to try to use their bathroom. And they have 2. Yes. So they have 2 bathrooms. And so I go in and I'm like, nothing.
Well, your body's like, excuse me, we're in a grocery store.
We're like, this fecal emergency will not be occurring here. So we feed the children, who, by the way, a 3-year-old who hates everything is super fun, by the way.
Food-wise, you mean?
Very picky. And, we got, it was funny because we were getting mac and cheese and chicken nuggets at the place. And I go, well, I know I'll eat the nuggets. I'm like, that mac and cheese looks really freaking good. He's not going to eat it.
Because it's gourmet.
Because it's extra.
It needs to be Kraft.
He likes Kraft mac and cheese. I don't think, she goes, well, we'll try it. I'm like, all right, $10 of mac and cheese. He ain't going to eat it.
No. So hopefully somebody else will want it.
So we sit down. He takes one bite. And he's like, I don't like it. I'm like, yep.
This is my son. He'd be like, this tastes funny. Is this the time that you usually make, Mom? I'm like,
so 3-year-old just goes, oh, it's delicious. And then he throws it.
Oh, fuck.
And Natalie's like, why are my children feral? I'm like, because he's 3.
Yeah.
And he's wild. Anyway, so this whole time, I literally cannot. I am like I'm like hunched over.
Is it because your nerve or your stomach?
The nerve.
Oh.
My stomach was killing me, but that wasn't the thing. So I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, this is unacceptable. It's one thing to have nerve pain. It's quite another to have intestinal distress on a road trip. Like, this is
both.
Who am I?
Yes.
So finally,
Mother, that's who you are.
Oh, shut up. And so Daryl goes, hey, our hotel rooms are ready. So
Thank the Lord.
So we can actually stop and dump off all our stuff before we go to the beach. And I'm like, how about this? How about you drop me off at the hotel and you guys go to the beach?
100%.
And he goes, I am not leaving you. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I turned to him and I said, I've never been more serious in my entire life. If you do not leave me alone, I will leave you.
Thank you. I will get my own goddamn room. And you can have the other room.
He's like, all right, fine. And so
How's it? Okay. So I understand where he's coming from, but in that moment, me personally, I'm like, I've never wanted to be alone more in my
life, Stephanie. And so
you guys being on the beach, just the thought of it brings me comfort and joy.
It really does. And so he's pained by it. And he goes, well, we have adjoining rooms. And so when we get back, they're going to send the guy over and they'll open the room. And I'm, the adjoining. And I said, okay, great. So we pull in and the guy literally ran and he's standing in front of the rooms waiting to. So I'm standing there going, this couldn't be any worse.
Like, this better take 0.5 seconds.
And he's,
hello,
welcome. Good afternoon.
Where are you going to the beach? Oh, what are you guys up to today?
And I'm like,
you're like, just.
And so, of course, Daryl gets out. He's like, hey, hello. I'm like, you have got to
stop talking.
I'm like, let's go. So finally, he's checking the door, and I'm like, get out.
Yes. I'm like, seriously. Because now your body's like, okay, we're here.
All systems go in any second.
You don't have to worry about being humiliated. So you need these people to leave.
Yeah. So Daryl, he goes, all right, well, let me know if you want me to come and get you. And I'm like, fine. So the guy finally saunters off. I put do not disturbs on both doors. I go into the bathroom and I shut it and lock it. Everybody left.
Okay, good.
I go to the bathroom, and I mean, I barely made it to the toilet, Stephanie. Barely
Jamie.
made it. And it was fucking water. Like, there was nothing.
Well, you hadn't eaten. I'm thinking your body was just reacting
Well,
to...
I Googled it, and apparently sciatica flare-ups, because it's in your spine, it can absolutely affect your digestive system. Sure. It can cause cramps. It can cause diarrhea. It primarily can cause constipation, but it can cause it can cause the other thing too, which it did. And so I'm sitting there. So if you're up and about, your sciatica nerve is fine. Like, I definitely had pain, but I was able to walk around. You saw me today. I'm walking around just fine.
But if you sat?
But if you sit, or if you're sedentary for more than 20 minutes, everything tightens up and it's impossible. So after I got up, it took me forever to get up off the toilet because I couldn't move. My left leg was just...
Oh, God, Jamie.
So I get up.
Like old people talk.
No kidding. I was laughing maniacally the whole time, going, "This isn't my fucking life.
You're like, why is this happening?
This is not appropriate." And so finally, I get up. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna. I will not lay on the floor of a hotel room. God forbid.
No, especially that one.
But they had. They had like a leather covered coffee table.
Yeah.
Now I know that thing's been utilized for sex a million times, but I put a towel down. I put a towel down on it.
You can cover surfaces. I did.
I put a towel down on it.
I just wouldn't lay on the floor necessarily.
Smelled of bleach. And I'm like, it's clean enough. And so I start rolling around, kind of like rubbing.
This hotel is really nice. It's old. It's been there for a very long time.
Definitely dated, needs a full upgrade, but they probably can't afford to close it.
I don't understand. I mean, I've been going there since I was in my early 20s. So 30 years. And they've never remodeled the goddamn place, and it's expensive, and it's
some things have changed. Although we got a screaming deal, because we were like one of 3 people in that hotel, who of course was above us.
Why do they do this? I guess so. Housekeeping only has to go to one section of the hotel. It always pisses me off when that happens. Oh
my God, it was so funny. But you know what? It's fine. So finally, I'm hobbling around, and I feel like an old witch in a movie. And I'm just like, hee. And I'm just like, this is insane. I'm like, stand up straight, God damn it. So rubbing around, trying to massage my butt, what made it worse.
Oh.
Finally, I'm like, I can't lay here. It doesn't feel good to lay. I had to get up and walk around. And then Daryl's like, well, it's a 6-minute drive. I can come back and get you. We came all this way. I'm like, fine, you can come and get me. All is well. I can come. He's like, all right. So
besides, you can't lay down anyway. Might as well.
I can't. I'm just pacing around. It's ridiculous. So finally he comes and gets me. And, he is, God forbid anything happened to me, Stephanie. I don't know what's going to happen to him. He's worried about a sciatica nerve. I mean, I just don't, I appreciate it, but still. So the beach was amazing, blah, blah, blah. It's not as bad, but it's because I've been so active for the last week.
Yeah,
But like when I get up in the morning, trying to get into bed is a joke.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
What are you going to do? You got to do something.
Well, according to Google, I have, if it lasts more than a month, I have to go to the doctor. If it doesn't.
A month?
Yes. But if it doesn't, it's already better than it was day one. So I'm like, if I just keep doing yoga, if I keep taking a leave, if I, do all the things. So yeah, I'm dealing with my butt.
Yay.
Awesome. And Daryl's like, your butt looks really great. I'm like, because I'm sticking it out because I'm trying to walk. Stop it. I'm so not interested.
This is not the moment.
I'm not, presenting myself to you.
Thank you, of course. He's the feral one.
So anyway, I don't know if you do this on TikTok. It happens occasionally, and I think it's because I don't have much of an algorithm on TikTok. I don't allow it. I hate it. I don't want anyone to try to figure me out. Oh. So I'll like random...
Mine's off because I haven't watched TikTok in like a week.
Oh, so they're just like, here, welcome to our freak show.
It's strange.
Try all of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So once in a while, I come across where I get these accounts that come up out of nowhere where they break up like Grey's Anatomy episode.
Yeah.
It's like 3-minute increments. Yeah. Well, they do it for Law and Order too sometimes, or SVU or whatever. Okay. So for some reason last night, and this isn't the first time that I've seen this episode broken down on TikTok. It's the one where the 16-year-old girl is pregnant and she's in prison.
Oh.
And she's really violent.
Oh.
And so the Grey's Anatomy people are being sent to the prison to look her over.
Okay.
And so they're like, she's really violent. She's got to be separate because she hits and hurts people, but she's only 16. She's 8 months pregnant, blah, blah, blah. Her mom is going to take her baby so that someone can raise the baby because she's in jail, but she needs medical care.
Okay.
So they go in and they're just like, oh, I was, the one doctor's like, yeah, I was homeless. I went in and out of foster care. She goes, I'm nothing like you. And she's like, what do you mean? She goes, I grew up in the Hamptons. I went to private school.
I'm just an asshole.
I had an amazing mother. I had casseroles every night. My mom took me to the beach. It was amazing. Jeez. And so ultimately she's like, but this is the frustration. Never find out why she's in prison. Never know why she's violent. Well, nothing. Nothing.
Okay. Then I don't like that.
And then the other one that I watched last night, and Stephanie, when I tell you I spent an hour of my life
watching 3 minutes at a time.
Looking for the ending because the ending wasn't posted anywhere.
Why did they do that to you?
This one was because, I love Law and Order SVU. I didn't know. Well, I used to watch it constantly, and then I just got past it. I'm like, this is too depressing. There's so many stars and celebrities on it.
Yeah.
So this one,
people do cameos and stuff too.
Tons. So this one has Scott Bakula. He's a lawyer.
Yes.
And he's having his wife is dying of a brain tumor, and they have like a 15-year-old daughter together. Oh, and this woman that he decided to bang is insane.
Oh, great.
This crazy woman is completely obsessed with Scott Bakula's character. He's trying to take care of his dying wife and their daughter after he was foolish, right? Mm-hmm. And this woman won't let it go. And she's recorded all of their sex, all of their text message, even though they have burner phones. She's kept everything because she wants proof because nobody believes her because she's kind of nuts. Anyway, that's where it ends. The baby gets remanded to CPS while they try to figure it out because she's like, I'm the mom. I can't tell you who the dad is because it'll ruin everything. And they're like, oh my God,
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So in the meantime, I can't find it. And I'm like, I just want to know where the baby ends up. Right? Who's the dad? Who's the mom? I finally find a TikTok account in Spanish. And I finally find the last 3 increments of the show.
Could you figure it out even though they were in Spanish?
One had subtitles.
Oh, thank God.
And so I started watching it. The daughter goes to this crazy girl's house and kills her.
Oh, yay.
The mom takes the rap, but she's literally dying.
So no one cares.
But anyway, so subtitles. I found it.
Oh. Well, thank God you found it because that would have killed me.
I would have ended up
paying for the episode on Prime or something just because I'm like, I must.
I'm like, I'll
pay the $4.99.
I know it's here somewhere. I can dig into anything and find anything. I can find this on TikTok.
Yeah,
and even if it's in Spanish, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So really quick. Okay. So the Barbie thing with Oscars.
Yeah.
Now the outrage, I get it. In a sense, the outrage of Ryan getting it and not Barbie getting the nomination, totally understand. My beef, honestly, is that Greta Gerwig didn't get her nomination.
Yeah.
Everything else got it but her, which is weird to me. But I did find out that the people who nominate for Best Director has nothing to, it's a different group. Mm-hmm. So they nominate separately. It's like this elite group of directors that nominate. Okay. So it's not the first time a director's been snubbed and their movie gets nominated and their actors get nominated and all that shit. So it's not about that. My biggest beef, and it's funny because I was listening to David Spade talk about this.
Same. I was literally just about to tell you that I saw a really good spin on it by David Spade.
And I've always said this.
And he's right.
We were talking about this in the car, too, on our way to Bodega Bay when I was trying not to have diarrhea. I said, I don't know why the Academy just insists on ignoring comedy. I don't get it.
Yeah.
He said
the same thing. And he made a very good point because some of our favorite movies are, when I say collectively as a society or American culture, are comedies.
Yes.
Are either rom-coms or just straight up comedies. One of my favorite movies in the whole world that I can watch endlessly is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That John Candy and Steve Martin should have been nominated.
They're brilliant.
That film should have been nominated.
Yes.
The fact that it wasn't is obscene.
It's a crime. We laugh and we're so into that movie that we don't think about the performances they're actually giving.
Which is exactly why comedy is so hard to pull off.
I found it funny that I didn't immediately think of Barbie as a comedy. But,
it is.
But once David Spade said it, I'm like, I guess if you have to stick it in a category or a box.
It's not a drama.
It's not a drama.
No, it's funny.
Yeah. So, it fits. Yes.
And I was just like that. And I'm like, God, it's one more movie that should have. Well, it is being nominated. It's not going to win anything. Oppenheimer's going to just fucking sweep, which
I still haven't seen it.
I have no interest in seeing it.
I'm going to watch it.
I mean, there's a lot of amazing actors in it.
Yeah.
Well, I do have friends who try to watch every single film that's nominated for Best Picture so
Oh.
they can be like, oh yeah, definitely should have won
Not
or
me.
whatever. I've tried, but honestly,
Some of them are boring.
I don't know, man.
I like last year.
Oppenheimer's like 3.5 hours long.
You know what?
don't
I'll
want to
watch it because I do like watching history about wars and stuff like that.
Well,
and
this is I was trying to think of some of the films or actors that I felt have been snubbed because they were in a comedy, even though they were super, super amazing.
Yeah.
Like The Princess Bride, nothing.
I've
The
never
Princess
seen that
Bride.
movie. I don't think.
What?
Who's in it? Is it Billy Crystal in that movie?
The Princess Bride, Stephanie?
Yeah.
I
I know everybody watches it.
I don't know what to say.
Who's in it?
Everyone's in it.
Well,
Carrie Elways.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, you do.
I
Mandy
do?
Patinkin. Billy Crystal's in it a little bit, but he's not the main guy. It's a Rob Reiner film. It's based on a
Oh,
book.
I do love Rob Reiner.
I can't
Okay.
believe it. As You Wish.
I think is it like based in the forest or something?
It's a fairy tale. But
Yeah.
my point is that it's so well done and it gets zero acknowledgement. Rachel McAdams in Mean Girls is another role that she should have been nominated for.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nathan Lane and Robin Williams in The Birdcage. That didn't get any
I haven't seen
acknowledgement.
that movie either.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a remake of a French film, but it's exceptional. And Gene Hackman's in it, and he should have been nominated for that role. It was unbelievably great.
Yeah.
Harry Met Sally,
I
nothing.
think it's funny that I don't know these movies.
I'm shocked and appalled.
I know because they can't see your face, but I can. I'm like
I'm shocked and appalled. The Hangover should have been nominated for Best Film. Bridesmaids should have been nominated for Best Film.
Yeah.
These are movies that are exceptional. Eddie Murphy should have been nominated for Beverly Hills Cop. Amazing.
That is a funny movie.
It's an amazing performance.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's given many. I mean,
Yeah, he has.
Nobody appreciates these movies that have become like.
Bill Murray should have been nominated for Groundhog Day. Like, please tell me
God, I
you
hate
don't
that
see
movie.
that. It doesn't matter if
I
you don't
have
like
seen it. Yes,
but
I've
it's
seen it. I've seen it.
exceptional.
Yeah.
These are performances that I think are The Big Lebowski. Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges should have been nominated. Like these, no, I've never seen that one all the way through. Just to be fair, I understand that it's iconic and that
Right.
it is a comedy and that it should have been recognized
Right.
by the Academy.
Yeah.
The only reason I think it's important that these things get recognized or these actors, Steve Martin, by the way,
So brilliant,
Martin Short,
yeah.
is because it affects their payroll.
Yeah.
You know, I just wish they were a little more willing to laugh and go, wow, that's really hard to make someone laugh and be
Yeah.
poignant
Right.
and make people care.
Totally.
Pisses me
Absolutely.
off. Barbie got all the accolades it deserved. I do think that Greta Gerwig should have been nominated for
Same.
Best Director.
I do
And I know this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I do question. I don't know if
Margot Robbie
should even have had a nomination. I mean, it was amazing, but I'm not. I guess I would have to watch all the other women that were nominated.
The thing is you have to see with other
Yeah.
films because there's only so many slots.
Like I know she was good, but I don't know if it was Oscar worthy of performance. I don't know. I feel like she was kind of catering everybody else. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
The movie is the movie itself is what motivated people to
Yes.
to be.
It wasn't her performance.
revolutionary.
Yes.
she was brilliant in the movie,
Of course.
and she did it very well. But
I don't know.
But so people, you have to compare
Yeah.
what, and that was the thing that David Spade said,
Yes.
when you're in a category of greatness like that,
It's really hard.
you're going to be compared to some other really phenomenal performances. And at some
Yes.
point there's got to be a cutoff. Like
Yeah.
who's going to get it, who deserves
Right.
to be nominated and that kind of thing. So
How funny you saw that. I did too.
did.
I love this
swear
take.
to God, I feel like our like what you watch,
Algorithm?
I get sometimes or vice
Sometimes
versa.
I send you
'Cause
stuff.
how do we see the same things?
Sometimes I send you stuff. Sometimes I repost, and so you might
Yeah.
see it because I repost. But
True.
First of all, David Spade is one of the coolest guys
He
in
is.
Hollywood. I absolutely love him. I think he has a podcast. I don't know.
Who
I
doesn't have a podcast?
Well, I don't know, but I would listen to it.
Yeah,
if
everyone
he
has
does.
podcasts.
It's like me. They're like, of course he has a podcast. I'm like, well, my sister hasn't seen Princess Bride, so here we are. I don't know what to say.
Well, I plan to remedy that.
Whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
the book is good too, but I mean, you know.
Those just aren't my type of films. I thought it was something like The Hobbit or something, which I can't.
No, it's a comedy.
I didn't know it was a comedy.
funny.
Yeah, and like Spaceballs, probably the stupidest movie I've ever seen in my life. And people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That movie's a classic. It's so funny. I'm like, I hated it.
Really?
So if it's a movie
funny.
like that, I won't like it.
No, it's not like that. Spaceballs is irreverent, and it's Mel Brooks, and you have to really. I am not a huge fan of Mel Brooks films either. I do like Spaceballs, but I wouldn't sit and go, you know what we should do today? Let's watch Spaceballs.
I mean, I change it when I see it's on. I'm like, oh,
It's not that bad. Well,
to me it is.
you know what it is? It's that slapstick carrot
I've
cop
never,
kind
ever,
of
ever liked
comedy.
shit like that.
And
Ever.
I do.
And you do.
I love it.
Which is why I've often said, I'm
Yeah.
like, you and I are so opposite.
Yes.
For as alike as we are.
Yes.
We're very different.
in our taste. But I will say The Princess Bride is not like that. It's a fairy tale.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, I think that's the show. We have to go watch.
I have an ugly and awkward moment. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I never have one, and it just literally came to my mind.
Mine was my ass.
Yeah, yours was your ass. That's
hobbling
pretty
all
good.
over town.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Mine was, so I went to an event the other day, a work event, and it was Asian Pacific Islander Caucus.
We
event.
talked about it. Was it good food?
No, but it was fine.
Okay, go
you're
ahead.
there to support the caucus and the people, and the money's for scholarships.
You're not there for food.
Well, I mean, we were hoping it was going to be good.
Well, of course.
But the fact that it wasn't, I was like, all right, well,
It's too bad because you want it to be good.
Yeah, it was fine. And of course, I starve myself before I go to these things because I'm thinking I'm going to eat. Why do you do that? It's like going to a wedding and thinking you're going to eat good, and then you go there and you're like, God, this is fucking horrible.
It's chipper chicken. What do you expect?
the shrimp's always overcooked and
No, Frank. We'll have the chipper chicken.
So I'm at the event and I have a VIP table because I'm there with the union. I'm on the board and we're all at the VIP table. And I was in a mood that day. I don't know why. I was actually having a good day. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
Usually I have to like force a smile or like try to be pleasant when I'm
yeah.
around people. But that day I was actually having fun.
Like, I think I'll have a good time today. I've
well,
decided.
there was 200 people at this event.
Oh, wow.
And
That's great.
it was big. And,
Yeah.
and it's a county thing. So we're sitting at this table and one of my friends, she's a good friend of mine. She's on the board. Her and I had spoken the morning on the phone about this event. She's like, I don't know if I want to go. And I'm like, come on, just come. It'll be fun. I'm going to be there. It'll be blah, blah. So she ended up coming. So we're all sitting at this table. She's sitting on the farthest away from me that she could at this giant round table of 10 people.
Okay.
And I was pouring drinks for everyone because it was on a lazy Susan, blah, blah, blah. Well, and then my friend Nicole's like, hey, Stephanie. And I'm like, what? She's like, you know, you have lipstick all over your forehead. And I'm like, I don't have lipstick on my forehead. I actually have a dry patch right now because I put I'm doing the new, my sister gave me a bunch of facial products.
Yeah.
And it's for whatever reason causing it to be really dry right here in the center of my forehead. Well, and it itches. So I'm constantly like touching it. So I probably had rubbed my makeup off. But everybody like immediately turns and looks and starts staring at my forehead.
Because it's not there today.
No, this was Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So I have been trying, treating it and lotioning it and everything. And everyone looks at me and I'm like, actually, it's not lotion. I mean, it's not lipstick. I'm like, I have a... So I start explaining because that's what I do.
You're like, anyway, everyone, I got this amazing skincare
and I've been
product.
using this retinol and it's been making me right. And so it's like really dry and everything. And everyone's like,
All 20 people are like,
like,
all right.
okay.
Well, thank you.
And then
for
I look
that.
at Nicole, I go, thanks for noticing. And she's like,
oh, God.
my bad.
I guess I'll wear a headband next time.
It was humiliating.
Do a bandana.
Especially, you know what? It reminds me of the funny thing that Paula said a long time ago. She goes, every time you're having a good day or you feel like you look good, I'm like, oh my God, I actually don't look ugly today. Like I look really pretty today. She's like, something will come along and take the wind right out of your sails.
It'll humble you immediately.
I'm like, that was me.
You'll never, ever
was
be
me.
allowed a flawless day.
No.
We're not allowed to have anything nice for too long, are we?
That's what I get for thinking I was all that in a bag of chips.
Thought you were such hot shit. You think you're such hot shit?
Yeah, no.
God.
You're not.
For example, I don't know if this happens to you, but I think it's true that you and I definitely our exterior indicates confidence.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me.
Right.
I know what I'm doing at all times.
Yeah.
Even if we are internally fat shaming and thinking we're nothing and all the
Exactly.
things happens all the time, right? And I'm sure we're not alone. I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
But we were at the grocery store, Daryl and I, shockingly, I know, and we're walking down the aisle,
Your
and
little shadow in you.
this woman who was probably in her early 70s, late 60s, early, normal looking gal with glasses on. She goes, and we're literally just walking by her. She stops me. She's like, excuse me. And I go, yeah. She goes, can I use your young eyes? And I said, yeah, sure. What's up? And she goes, does this say prune? She had a bottle.
Okay.
Now I have raisin eyes. I'm a relic.
You're like, I
can't see shit, and she's got glasses on.
And you're like, oh shit.
So I'm like, all right. So I look and I'm all, yes, it says 100% prune. And she's like, thank you so much, young lady. And I was just like, okay.
I'm glad you could at least see it. And you didn't have to pass it to Daryl.
I had to try so hard. I was trying so hard because I'm like, I don't want to embarrass this poor woman, and I don't want to go, hey, can you give me my glasses out of my purse?
Right.
It's like,
Hang
oh my
on.
God.
Yeah.
Bad enough with the sciatica and the diarrhea, and now I can't see.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
I do.
Inside, that's all the things I'm thinking about. And this woman sees a very strong, vibrant person who can see and do
Youthful.
all the things.
Yeah. Like my friends who are always so, every time I say my age, which I try not to do ever, but if I accidentally blurt it out, they're always like, you're 50? Oh my God. I'm like, yes, I'm fucking ancient.
Well, you know what's funny is that that's not that old anymore.
No, I know it's not, but when you're 40.
Back in the old days when people retired at 50 because they had heart attacks and died at 55, yeah. But that's because we were eating steak and smoking and drinking every day.
I just think, I don't know what I thought when I was 30 or 40 or, did I think 50 was old? I don't remember anymore. Probably because now I'm like, it's so true that when people say, I don't feel my age, even when you're 80. You don't. Mm-hmm. And that's, it's horrible actually, because I wish I could feel my age, then I could see myself the way other people see me. Yeah. But you don't. You walk around thinking, then all of a sudden you look in the mirror, you're like, oh my God.
I'm starting to notice too, like I've been looking, social media in general. First of all these actors on Ozempic, they're so rail thin.
And they look weird.
They don't look
Have you seen Kevin James, by the way?
No, is he thin?
Jamie. I didn't even recognize him. He has a special out right now.
I know. Daryl told me about it.
And I don't know if it's funny.
I'm not enthused. I don't know. He hasn't done stand-up in 100 years.
And why is he doing stand-up? Is it because he can't get a movie role?
Well, he was originally a stand-up comedian. That's how I discovered him.
Once you get into until you get to, motion pictures, you generally don't go back. So
what did he do in motion pictures besides that one movie with Will Smith?
Oh, he's been in tons of movies.
Oh, I don't know.
No, he's been in
I saw a sitcom on Netflix that he did, and it was terrible. And I'm like, this is so bad.
I didn't see that.
I don't know. Yeah. He's friends with Adam Sandler, though, so he'll never not work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Same with Barrymore.
You know what? I'm so over that bitch.
Jamie, I'm glad you said that.
I'm so over her.
When are they going to cancel her?
The industry has. That's the thing.
Has canceled her?
Basically.
Well,
she has her show.
She has a talk show. And everybody's like, oh, it's so great. I'm like, she's so horrible.
It's not so great. Do you know why? And I will tell you what made me turn on her. One is she crossed the picket line during the strike.
She did.
Fuck that bitch for doing that.
And then she took it back. But she did.
But the damage was done.
Done, yeah.
We all knew. All of her writers that were striking, and they're just like, fuck off.
Right.
And so she was going to use scabs. I don't know who she's using now because all of her writers left.
Yeah, did they?
Oh, yeah. They're like, we're not coming back for you. So there's that.
Such a dumb thing.
So then when she does the I'm taking it back crap, she's in a completely empty room. Her hair's greasy. She's wearing glasses. She's doesn't have any makeup on.
Is she like, I didn't use glam. I'm being authentic.
A PR person dissected that and said that was 100% scripted. That is 100% PR because she's trying to be down to earth, humble. I am not a celebrity. I'm just like you crap. Whether it worked or not for the audience is yet to be seen because at the time, But you could just look and see who her guests are, who she's trotting out. It's very random. I know Oprah did it. Oprah did one.
Well, she's on a thing right now.
Oprah's pushing the Color Purple musical. So
is that what it is? Okay, because she's doing all kinds of...
But the new thing Drew Barrymore is doing is when she's interviewing somebody one-on-one, which is she's doing a lot lately for, reasons that... because no one wants to be on her fucking show, is that she is literally like no personal space. She's like 2 inches from these people and she's touching them and she's holding their hands.
I can't with that.
And they're talking. When I saw her, and Oprah's just like, what are you doing?
Isn't she like leg crossing and like taking his shoes off and like
sitting
being on the couch?
Indian style.
Like we're at home.
Yes.
No.
It's a whole new take.
Yeah.
And the thing is, everybody's like, why is she like literally trying to kiss Oprah right now? She's so close to her. And Oprah's just like, I don't know what's happening. And she's trying really hard to just be in the moment. But she's
Oprah's
like,
pretty authentic too, though. Sometimes she'll just be like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I don't know if that happened or not.
Well, maybe she was trying to be polite.
Well, maybe she's trying to throw her a bone. Like, maybe if I come on the show, someone will forgive you. But the reality is that nobody wants to touch her with a 10-foot pole. So she did like this reunion show the other day with Addie McDowell and who's the other chick who was in Some Kind of Wonderful, the blonde lady.
I don't know her name. But
they were in a movie together where they were all girl cowboys. It was probably during the Tombstone era.
Good Lord.
Can't even remember the name of it. I think it was like Bad Girls or something like that. The three of them did some kind of cowboy western. Terrible film. That was her guest last week. And I'm like,
nice.
This bitch can't get, but she's getting everything she deserves. So you know what she did? She pulled out the big guns. She went on social media and was in that same tiny room that has a 30-inch television on some old ass table, greasy hair, sweater, glasses, watching.
We're not buying it, Drew.
You know what she was watching? The Wedding Singer.
Of course.
And she starts.
Oh, she started crying.
She started
I saw it.
And I'm like,
it was such a good movie.
And
so is she going to have Adam Sandler on next because he's going to throw her a bone?
First of all, he has not said boo about her because he's like, yeah, I want to still make movies and go on vacation with my friends. So I don't know about this. You know, I mean, she's kryptonite.
She is. And she did say, she even made this shows the level of desperation about making a Wedding Singer 2.
Oh my God, no.
So she's like, yeah, I would love to do it and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I saw that whole.
She is so in trouble with the industry now. Yeah. And the writers, see, the thing is that you can be a celebrity, but if the people that you don't know their names won't work for you, you're fucked.
Yeah. Agreed.
She's the epitome of, we don't know who her assistant is, but if she wants to ruin her life, she could totally do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like all of those people that everybody takes for granted in the industry because they don't look like Drew Barrymore, they're the people that will screw you. And if 100%. They won't work for you, if somebody goes, hey, do you want a job at the Drew Barrymore show? And they're like, immediately no.
Right. Especially if you're any good and you can get and you can work.
Yes.
You know, why would you? Yeah, no.
Right.
Have a bunch of interns and like fresh out of college people working for her.
I don't know how long this will go on, but the reality is that you don't fuck with a strike.
She may have a contract that they're honored to obligate.
They do.
But, you know, at some point, if it gets really bad, they'll just buy her out of it and be like, you're canceled. We don't even, you know.
Go enjoy your wedding singer.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kelly Clarkson is living her best life.
She looks so fucking good.
Well, she did jump on the Ozempic train, I believe.
And you know, honestly, yeah.
But you know what?
She should have.
With Kelly, I kind of give, like, she's the target person.
Yes, she's perfect.
She's the person who has always tried to lose weight healthy and natural, and she's just, her body type is just not prone.
She's like 5 foot tall.
She's tiny.
She's
never been a rail thin person, and she never will be. And even now, she's not.
She looks amazing.
She is the only person I know who's taking this thing who actually looks healthy.
The one, and she deservedly should have been on it.
Absolutely.
The only thing I've noticed lately that it's been a trend for a while, and it's something that you and I have always said we wanted to do, where they take that fat pad out from under your chin. So a lot of people are doing it, and they look weird.
Okay, well then I don't want to do it.
And when somebody finally defined what they were doing, because I'm like, why do they look so ill and stuff like that? And they're like, oh, they're removing that fat pad under their chin so that they have a more defined jaw.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to look like that.
I mean, but I will say this.
There's a reason why we have it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I mean,
I've just lately, I've been trying to come to peace because my birthday's coming up. I'm just like you. I think I'm not until I am. I'm like, okay, my birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks, and I am noticing everything about myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my body, I will always battle with that because
it's what we do.
It's what we do. And there are some things that I would love to do. There's actually only one thing surgically that I would really love to do, and that's get a boob job. And I don't want to, I don't want to get a bigger boobs. Everyone's like, my God, you're a double D. I want to lift.
A lift.
I want my boobs to look like I was 25 again.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that I would really
do it.
And I will.
You should.
I just bought a new car that's costing me half my salary.
I know. So. But you know what? I mean, if you get a boob lift, like, you don't have to wear a bra, right?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, okay.
That would be lovely.
Oh,
I'm perfectly willing to wear a bra still.
Yeah.
I would just like it so that when I take my bra off, they're not like at my waist. But the one thing I've noticed that, you know, you can do retinol and Botox, which I eventually will probably do all of that. But you can't do anything about your goddamn neck.
You have to get a neck lift.
Turkey. Can you?
Oh yeah, you can get a neck lift.
Then that's cosmetic surgery number 2.
I know someone who was very young who had one done, and they're like, no regrets.
Yeah, I will never regret. And I don't know if you're supposed to wait until it's really, really bad and then do it, so you don't have to do it twice, because I don't want to do it twice.
No, in fact, somebody mentioned to me, I really don't, the idea of fillers is not something I'm really, I just really don't want to do the filler thing. I've seen women who get it done.
Is there a difference between fillers and Botox?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Fillers are physically put in your skin and lift you. It's kind
I do
of
this
like
all the time now, Mal.
Yeah.
I'm lifting my eyebrows so that my
Botox will do that for you.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm just really afraid of fillers, man. I don't want to look like a Real Housewife. They all look the same
Look
to
at
me.
freaking Kylie Jenner. She's been in the news all last week.
Because she got a bad job. It looks terrible. And she looks like she's 50.
She said she was trying to get, and she's 26, by the way.
I know. She's a baby.
She said that she was trying to get her fillers out. Like, I'm not going to use them anymore. She like her lip fillers and all that stuff. So I don't know if she did that. And
I
this
don't
is
know.
like the residual
It's
effects.
just such a mess. And I mean, I'm really hesitant to do the filler thing. I don't want to look like everybody else. I don't mind aging. I just don't want to look tired and bad. And so, I mean, Jennifer Aniston has fillers and you can tell. I just don't like it. And she's so beautiful.
She is beautiful.
She doesn't need them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she does. I don't know. But so they go.
Or she doesn't need as much.
The lady or the doctor that I was talking to about the filler thing, and she goes, you don't have to do fillers if you don't want to. She goes, honestly, you're a little young, but in a few years, if you want, you could get a facelift and you would never have to do anything for the rest of your life.
See, I would do that, but
I was like,
how much do they cost? Like $20,000.
They're not that much. But I said, really? She goes, yeah. And I go, well, what about Botox? She goes, no, you don't have to do anything. You'll be done. You'll be done till you die. And I'm like,
this
really?
thing that I'm watching right now? Speaking of TikTok,
if you do it well, if you get a really good one.
well, of course, no one wants to do
I'm
it
like,
bad.
I'm like, ooh, well,
That's why I keep hearing these commercials about it. I think the name of the company is like cheap dentures or something like that. I'm like, just what I want. Of all the things that get a cheap out for,
my teeth.
If I have no teeth, I'm going to get the cheapest ones I can possibly put in my mouth.
I just said something to somebody the other day. I said, can I just take them all out and just spend like $40,000 on teeth and just be done with it?
Yeah, you can.
And they go, well, I mean, I suppose you could. And I'm like, but does that mean I never have to go to the dentist again? They're like, well, no, because you have gums. I'm like, well, then screw it. I'm not doing it.
There's no point.
If it doesn't, if it means that I still have to go to the dentist and do shit, I'm not doing it. We really need to call it.
I know.
We've been talking for too long, and
Daryl
we're missing the
shave.
game.
Oh, no.
So
all right.
yeah.
Well, next time it starts.
Okay.
It starts at 12:22.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Follow us on our social media if you love us. Please share our show, rate and review us on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen. We thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.